Hello. Good morning. Welcome. This is Devoted Heart Lauren with the Monday Awareness Upgrade. Resumed from its couple weeks hiatus. So I was in Hawaii for a couple weeks with family. And yeah, whatever, due to scheduling and the time difference and just wanting to take a break, I didn't do this talk. I was sharing a lot of things. The trip resulted in my entire family getting sick, so that was also a thing. So not without drama, but it was lovely to be there at the island. I was on a big island. It was really beautiful. And now I'm back. So I'm here on the couch with Tavali. You can't see him, but he's resting over here. And I'm continuing in my exploration of the 5 yama and the 5 niyama. We left off at do you remember? Have you been following along? Tapas. Tapas was the last one that I spoke about, which is the discipline, the burning through impurities in order to experience our own magical powers. So, that is one of the niyama. The next niyama after that is svadhyaya. Svadhyaya translates to self-study, study of yourself. And the title of this talk is You Are a Mirror for the Divine. So the idea is when you study yourself, you continue to study yourself, you continue to understand yourself more, and then you continue to clarify, to purify, to experience more often your true self, okay? Your brightest light, your highest potential, your most loving awareness, okay? When you continue to study yourself, you continue to see your hang-ups, where you kind of go dark or want to hide your head in the sand. And then you learn how to not do that, hopefully, right? And so that's kind of like svadhyaya and tapas in communion, in working together. So you see the hard stuff, you see what has you shut down, you study it. Okay, why is that happening? Why am I experiencing this feeling? And then how can you work on it? So you are a mirror for the divine. So the more you clarify yourself, the more the mirror is going to be clear, okay? Or the piece of glass, or whatever it is, the looking, reflective thing, okay? The more you clarify, yourself, the more the divine will be present very obviously within you, okay? You are emanating your own divine nature, and therefore the divine nature of all of life, all of the planet, all of the universe, all of life, okay? So how can you do this? How can you study yourself? In the Yoga Sutra, the verse having to do with svadhyaya says, svadhyaya ishtadevata samprayogaha. And so I want to zoom into this concept of ishtadevata. So the first part is svadhyaya. That's the study of self. Ishtadevata means for you to worship your chosen deity, your chosen version of the divine. So it doesn't really matter what that is, whether that's a specific name of God, image of God, version of God, or whether that's the concept of love, the concept of the soul, okay? Whether you experience that through your cat or going to some sort of place of worship or reading spiritual books, whatever it is, okay? So, but actually doing something, actually continuing to studying yourself through the divine and through the scriptures, the writings that kind of channel that sense of the divine, to continue to clarify that lens, to continue to wipe off the mirror so that you can see very clearly, and so the divine is very present in you. So continuing to do something. When we go into a state of darkness, of not knowing, of forgetting our true self and being in the mode of ignorance, if we don't study ourselves, if we don't apply some pressure, some tapas to get out of it, we can stay there. We can stay there for quite a while, and then the divine is not present. We're not seeing the divine within ourselves. Others are not seeing the divine within us because we're grumpy and mad and whatever, have given up and are submitting to the ignorant state of not knowing our true nature. Okay? So continually doing something, continually studying, continually meditating, praying, whatever it is that makes you feel connected, making sure that you're prioritizing that. Yeah, and then the next concept, I'll just give a little teaser, Ishvara Pranidhana, the last of the niyama, is surrender to the divine. So that's, again, making sure that you are prioritizing that which you really want to focus on. Okay, so applying the pressure to purify yourself, using that pressure in service of self-study, knowing yourself better, and then clarifying where your attention is going. That's kind of the last of the principles that we have made our way through. Okay, so what are ways that you can study yourself specifically? Well, I mentioned meditation and prayer. I mentioned reading spiritual books. That's a big one for this concept. So studying the Yoga Sutra, okay, reading the Bible, reading the Quran, reading whatever delineations of any of the kind of like the main books or whatever, something that is dispelling great wisdom. Okay, reading that and using that as a mirror to know yourself better, because there's things in there that are very universal principles, universal lessons and archetypes that emerge. Also just journaling, writing down your thoughts or recording your thoughts. I like to do that one. So if I feel really annoyed about something, I will speak it into a voice recording, and it's just like a way of enacting self-therapy, really. It's like I can say whatever I want because nobody's listening. It's just for me. And so it helps me to really flesh out like, okay, what's really going on here? Why do I feel like this? What do I think? Where is this coming from? Stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, I think those are some big ones. Reading, writing, speaking, talking to a friend or a loved one can be a great way to study yourself, because they can provide a reflection of, oh, I experience you like this when this happens. And then you can be like, oh, I didn't know that I was doing that. I didn't realize that I was coming off like that, or that wasn't my intention. And so then kind of understanding and being able to rework with that knowledge. Okay, but you have to be really willing in practicing Svadhyaya. You have to be willing to kind of shed the ego, or at least be aware of the ego, to clarify and clean the mirror so that you can reflect the divine. Because otherwise you're just like, no, I'm not like that. I'm not doing that. I don't feel like that sort of thing. And then it's just digging your heels into the way that you are, rather than cleaning the mirror. So I think those are the big ones. So I'd love to hear anything that this brings up for you. You can write it in the comments. We're going to drop in for a few minutes of meditation now, but first I want to announce that Live Your Yoga is scheduled to begin this Sunday, October 15th. However, I have low enrollment at this moment. There hasn't been a lot of committed interest. There's been a lot of interest, but not a lot of commitment. So I'm switching gears to offer the program on kind of a sliding scale, pay what you can structure. So if you have looked at it and it felt like the pricing was out of your reach, or you couldn't prioritize it financially to that degree, reach out. Again, there's also, if you go directly to my Live Your Yoga website, which is linked in my link tree, you can find the application. So you don't even have to book a call with me or talk to me at all. If you want to go that route, you can just fill out the application. There's a form online, answer the questions, say how much you would be willing to comfortably pay, and we'll go from there. And then we'll have a chat. So this is moving through each of these yogic principles for 2 weeks each. So we'll spend 2 whole weeks just zooming in to Svadhyaya, for example, and looking how to study ourselves and reflect and read and whatever, focus on the divine in order to clean that mirror. And we'll do that with each of the principles. Okay. That's a 6-month program from October through April. Let me know if you're interested. I'm also offering a Yoga Sutra, Exploring the Yoga Sutra course, where we're going to be zooming into it's chapter 2, that talks about the 8 limbs of yoga. There's a post about this somewhere in my Instagram. I'll reshare it to bring it back up to the top. But Yes, so that's going to be on Monday afternoons beginning in November through February, I believe. So that's just once a week and studying that text. So if you're very interested in really zooming into the text and studying each of the verses in that chapter, that could be a good option for you. So yeah, those are the announcements. If there's anything that you would love to see me offer immediately or in the new year or whatever, if you have any suggestions, I'm open. Things have not been going as whatever. I haven't been getting as much interest from people in signing up for things lately as I would hope. So I would love to get some feedback and see what I can offer and how I can be of service. So let's drop in and meditate for a few minutes. The kitty will join us. So let your eyes close. And if you're willing, consider what is your version of the divine. Ishtadevata, your chosen deity, your chosen version of the divine, which, like I said, it could be a specific name of God, specific image of God, or it could be the sunrise, or it could be a feeling, it could be an abstract concept. But whatever it is, see if you can breathe it into yourself. It could just be the feeling of health and wellness or happiness, whatever relates for you. And then if you do feel connected with that concept, that feeling, that idea right now, then you have some information about what works. So what are you doing right now? Are you sitting and breathing? What have you done this morning that set yourself up to be in this mode? Or what helped to create this set of conditions where you feel that connection? And if that's not happening right now, then when would it happen? When could it happen? What are the set of conditions that make you feel connected to yourself, the divine within yourself, the divine in general? Is it reading? Is it journaling? Is it practicing a physical yoga practice or any other physical practice? Is it sharing kind words or love in any form with anyone? And how willing are you to continue to study yourself, your ways of being, to cultivate having a clear reflection of the divine? Svadhyaya Dishtadevata Samprayogaha. So the end of that sentence is creating union. Creating union. Let's bring hands to the heart center. I'll chant the verse 3 times and then we can join together for the sound of Om. Whatever you're doing, just breathe. Svadhyaya Dishtadevata Samprayogaha. Svadhyaya Dishtadevata Samprayogaha. Svadhyaya Dishtadevata Samprayogaha. bowing your head to your heart, the divine within you, the interconnected nature of the divine, so that which runs through all of us. May we continue to cultivate our awareness and ourselves to reflect that nature more and more. Letting your eyes open. Thanks, everybody who tuned in now and in the future. I'll see you soon.